What's going on, guys? This video is brought to you by StoneAgeGamer.com. It's where I go for retro games, accessories, systems, plus more. Be sure to check out StoneAgeGamer.com and see for yourself. What's going on, gamers? My name is John with Gamester81.com. This episode, I am going to be reviewing the Orgon Trail, the Director's Cut. Just came out recently for a number of platforms. It's available on Android, iOS, Steam, PC, as well as an Ouya, which is the version I'm just showing you here. They're all the same game, pretty much same gameplay, all that. Before I get started on the review, I just want to say a little backstory about Orgon Trail game itself. I have a lot of fond memories playing Orgon Trail in elementary school through middle school, actually. In elementary school, we actually had Apple IIe computers. That's where we learned to type. We had educational games, Reader Rabbit, this was one of them. And it was kind of help you teach the importance of and how hard it was to go across the country in the covered wagons and kind of the history of the Orgon Trail itself, that part of history. Have fond memories playing it, love the game. You have a party and it's kind of random things happen in the game, and you have to cross rivers and you have to go hunting and all that good stuff. So when I found out, and I was kind of messing around through my Ouya and some of the games, I saw this game pop up, and it's $5 to play. And I think the $5 is definitely worth it here because the graphics are old school graphics done in the same style as you'd see in the Apple II. And I would have to also add in there that the music in this game is phenomenal. So I just want to show you a quick review over this game so you guys can get a feel for that this game is actually out there and get a feel for what it's about. I have a lot of fun playing this game, but I will just warn you guys, this game is freaking hard. And in this game itself is actually different. There's a twist to this game because it's like Orgon Trail. You take that and you meet like The Walking Dead with zombies, and you combine the two. So there you got the zombie element, you got the Orgon Trail, old school element. It's a really fun game. Let's take a closer look at it. Alright, so here's the main menu. When you boot up the game, you see Orgon Trail. Notice a pun there, and Orgon as far as a body part, not the state. You have endless mode. You also have a campaign. For the sake of review, I'm just going to show you this campaign. There's 4 difficulties. Easy is the easiest, obviously, but it's still super challenging. The difference between the difficulties is basically on the amount of money and items you start with. Start off the game here where there's zombies coming after you, and it kind of controls really weird. At least on the Ouya controller, you're using the left joystick to fire, aim, and you have to flick it to fire, which at first it's kind of unusual, but after a while it actually works really well. Orgon Trail Director's Cut actually came out in 2011. Game's been out for a while. It came out initially as an Adobe Flash game for PC. Later on they did a Kickstarter, and they were able to raise over $16,000, and through that they were able to release on iOS, Android, and it's now obviously on Ouya, and it's also on Steam. This game is developed and published by a company called The Men Who Wear Many Hats. Never heard of them before. Obviously a very small independent company, but great to see them working on some good games. And you can tell the people who worked on this game love the original Orgon Trail because you can see graphically the style is very, very similar. And it is just like the original. You have to name your party. So I'm going to name them after my fellow co-hosts to my gaming podcast called the Allgengamers. We've got myself, Beat Door, Jason Heine, and Metal Jesus Rock. So I'll go ahead and name them. Once you put all the names in, you go on, you meet this guy who kind of leads you on the way. The goal is to get to Orgon and avoid zombies, obviously. But the main goal is to survive, obviously. And to survive, you need 3 basic things to survive. You need food, ammunition, and supplies. Those are the 3 key things in this game. Otherwise, you will die or get stranded along the way. So made it to the car. And you can see here that instead of a wagon with ox, you have a wagon, a station wagon, which is kind of funny. It's definitely interesting how they do that. Health is obviously right there, shows you your health, and you can change the speed of how fast you go too, which is nice because the faster you go, the more wear and tear your station wagon is going to take. You don't want to run out of fuel either. You start from DC and you go to Orgon. And the game actually takes quite a while to beat. I was surprised how long it takes. Actually, to get through from DC to Orgon, it takes longer than playing the original game. This is where you actually decide pick your items. So you have fuel, your med kits, which is can heal yourself. Money's important. Battery, obviously, food, ammunition, tires, and a muffler. Every time I've played this game, I really had to mess with too many mufflers. Although if you don't have a muffler and you need a muffler, then you can either trade or you can do some other things, but you don't want to be stuck without any particular item. As I mentioned before, with difficulties, the harder difficulty is, the less remaining options you have as far as to select how many items you need in the game. As I mentioned before, there's various options you have. You can check your supplies, you can talk to strangers, you can pause, and you can rest, which is important, but the more you rest, the more food you're going to use. You can set the pace. I like going at a faster pace, but the faster you go, obviously, as I mentioned before, the more wear and tear you get, and the more supplies you need for your car. And if you don't have enough supplies for your car, I've had it happen where I've got, the kind of frustrating thing about this game is you get stranded, and when you're stranded, the game's over, you have to start over for the most part. So it shows you your fuel, your food. Zombie activity is pretty high. I just made it to Pittsburgh, and at every one of these stops you can do jobs, you can buy things, you can sell things. Some of the cities have everything like Pittsburgh does. You can buy food and scraps, med kits. Some areas you stop at only have a few things, so it's very random. Scraps are an important part of fixing your car, so that's really important. Med kits are also important, obviously, in food, but let's go back to fuel here. You can see how many gas I get. You get cost of gas is pretty expensive. You can also sell things, so if you have too much of one thing, you can sell them. You can do the auto shop. You can actually upgrade your vehicle, which is cool. And here's a job board. This is different. You can do these things, and this is how you make money. So I have to basically kill these bandits. And this is actually pretty hard. As I mentioned before, the controls, you flick it, which is unusual. I'm sure on iOS and Android, it's probably a touch dynamic. I'm not sure. I've never played on this, on those particular formats. But you gotta be careful, because if you get hit in this, then you don't get the $44. You don't necessarily die, but you don't get the $44 either. Here's another example of a job mission. This one is where zombies come at you. Different difficulty levels. There's anything from normal or easy to more alert, like suicide, whatever. And the harder it is, the more money you get, obviously, but also there's more zombies. Some zombies take 2 hits, some take 1. It just kind of depends. If you get bit here, you don't necessarily die. It's just the job's over with, so it's not a huge deal. You just don't get your money. In this case, I get like $30 or $40 if I survive this, and it looks like I'm about to get bit here. But they go at different speeds, obviously, and you can see I got injured, but nothing really happened seriously. I think some of my damage health goes down, but I don't necessarily get bit, which is great. So this is kind of a pun. This is in the original Orgon Trail. You had to cross river. This you have to cross zombies. So there's different types. Sometimes they're calm, sometimes they're alert. There's different options. So I'm going to try to break out my guns and clear the path, see if that works. Sometimes if they're calm, you can kind of sneak through. Sometimes if it's huge and large, you can pay someone to help you through it. I got to lose 43 ammo in this particular situation. It's unfortunate, but you can get bit in this game, and if that happens, you have an option to kill a party member, take them down, which in my case, I got bit, and along the way, and I'm going to have to shoot myself. I'll shoot him in the knee or the crotch, the groin area, and I get an achievement. There are achievements in this game, which is hysterical, so that's cool. There's a lot of hidden things in this game. There's achievements, there's tombstones, that you can kind of see how many tombstones you can spot along the way. So there is some kind of replayability in this game in that regard. And here's your scrap. This is kind of interesting. So the more scraps you have, the more success rate of improving your station wagon. So the less you use, you have like, for example, I use 4 scraps, I got 53% success rate. The more you use, the more success rate, but you have to be careful. In this particular situation, I have 26. And this here, repair, and as time goes on, food goes down again. Attempting repairs, and it's successful. I've had times where I've used 1 scrap and I've been successful. I've been times when I've used 5 scraps, I've been unsuccessful. So obviously, the more you use, the little more likely it is to fix. But that is a very frustrating thing about this game, is it's very dependent on making sure your station wagon works. This is also interesting. When you sometimes when you leave a city, sometimes these biker gangs will come after you. So you have to kind of make sure you knock them out of the street. If they fire at you, they can actually hurt the health of your car, which is important, because if your car is dead, you're pretty much stranded. The game is over. So I really like this kind of mini game within the game, so to speak. Where I think the game really shines is the music. It's got a really cool retro sound to it, but it really fits the game very well. It's composed by Ben Crossbones, which I'm assuming is an alias. I'm not sure if that's his real name or not, but according to their website, that's who composed it. And it really is a really good job, and one of my favorite parts about Orgon Trail, the Director's Cut. Well, guys, that concludes my review over Orgon Trail, the Director's Cut. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As you can see, the graphics are definitely old school style. Love the music. Music is phenomenal. I love the fact there's different options. Even though it plays similar to the original Orgon Trail, it's got some differences too, which they've added some cool things, which I think is an upgrade. As far as replayability goes, once you beat it, personally, I can't see myself going back to it and playing it anytime soon. However, for $5, you really can't go wrong with this game. I definitely recommend it. If you guys want to stay in touch, please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll put links below so you can check me out. Also, follow me on my website, Gamester81.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about Orgon Trail, the Director's Cut. Let me know if this is a game that interests you. Let me know if you have any memories of the original Orgon Trail, or what are some of your fond memories of playing games for the classic computers and PCs in years past. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Happy gaming. Take care.